Welcome to College Football on YouTube. My name is Kyle Henderson. Nick Saban just spoke at the Knicks Kids Foundation golf tournament in Birmingham. And a reporter asked him if the playoff should move from its current format to 16 teams. And Coach Saban had an interesting answer. He said, we should probably move to 16 teams for the tournament, but the question is how do we eliminate teams playing too many games? I think it brings up a really good question because, 16 teams, sure. 12 teams, sure. But how do you get away with teams not playing, a 20-game season? We're kind of moving to an NFL-type model. And if we look to last year, right, here's a tournament last year. You had these 12 teams, but the problem wasn't this. I didn't feel that 12 is a better number than 16, whatever the case is. I felt that the problem with the college football playoff, and that was one thing that I would like to see fixed, is the fact that the best 12 teams are still not making the tournament. And if you followed my Alabama football channel, I'm not arguing that Alabama should have made the playoffs last year. In fact, I feel that after seeing the playoffs take place, Alabama clearly wasn't a playoff team. I think you can question maybe a couple of those other teams, how they performed in the first round as well. But aside that, there was never a true 1 through 12 that was straight up the best. And the way that the teams were organized within the quarterfinals didn't make any sense to me. For example, like Boise receiving a bye along with Arizona State. Now, look, Arizona State was a much better team than I thought they were, and I like the way that they played Texas. And Boise State had a quality season, but the Mountain West is a lot different than the SEC grind, is a lot different than the Big Ten grind. You see what I'm saying? So I think rather than 16-12, let's start fixing how the teams are selected into the playoffs to begin with. And then if we want to expand to 16, and we know that 16 is coming, that's going to happen. But let's make sure that the playoffs have the best teams in, number one. The biggest issue that I have with the way that the college football playoffs are determined is it's still a group of people going into a room and figuring out the top 12 teams. It makes absolutely no sense. And if you've seen any other sport in the world, there's no other sport where a group of people go into a room and seed the teams. It's based on different elements of wins, losses, conference games, whatever. So I would like to see that addressed if this commission does come to head with Coach Saban and this Texas Tech billionaire Cody Campbell, right? Those are the things that I think need to be addressed. Here's a look at what a 16-team playoff bracket could look like. Again, I found this on College Football Reddit, which is, by the way, is a fantastic space to go check out college football. As you can see, I guess those first round games would be held at the home site. That's a lot of games. And one of the things that Coach Saban was saying is, how do we alleviate the teams playing too many games? Well, one of the ways that I was thinking about, eliminate the conference championship game. Let me hear from you inside the comment box if you think that college football still needs conference football title games, because maybe the way to do this is play maybe a couple out-of-conference games, play maybe more conference games, which makes it tougher for you to make the actual playoffs and be atop your conference, right? So if, let's say, SEC added one more SEC game and you have less out-of-conference games, that's one way, and then shave down no more SEC Big Ten championship game. That way, the committee or however it's determined, then you can seed those teams appropriately based on their strength of schedule, right? I don't know. But I want to hear from you inside the comment box. Number one, do you think the playoffs should move from 12 to 16? Number two, do you think that there should be rules and maybe, should we go to Grok? Should we go to ChatGPT to see who the best 12 teams are? I guess we had that when we had the BCS. Or do you like the current format where you have a committee just going into a room? Because conferences are not created equal. Another team that we didn't even talk about, who's not even part of a conference, is Notre Dame. Look, and I'm not hating on their game because they had a really good team last year. They're not part of a conference, so they can play anybody that they want. They can schedule 2 tough games, one against the Big Ten, one against the SEC, win the majority of their games or all of them. They don't have to play a conference championship game. And look where they landed last year in the tournament. It worked out well for them, right? They played Indiana, right? And then they went on to beat Georgia, beat Penn State, ultimately got in the championship game. And guess what? On top of that, they didn't have to split any of the money from their earnings with their conference because they're independent. All right. So I appreciate you guys. I'll be eager to hear what you have to say inside the comment box. Coach Saban looks great. I think, the world listens to what he has to say. And I am ultra curious to see what happens with this college football commission. Stay tuned for more college football news right here on College Football News on YouTube. I appreciate you guys being here. See you guys inside the comment box.